Hey there, I am Gary Parrish. Welcome back. CBS Sports Eye on College Basketball Podcast, where we sometimes discuss camel fighting dodo birds, leaky black. The Eye on College Basketball Podcast is presented by Jersey Mike's, proud sponsor of the Naismith Award. Jersey Mike's would like to offer their congratulations to all of the athletes on the watch list. Matt Norlander is here with me. If you
Good morning.
Good morning.
That music sounds so good, but I don't mean to interrupt. Keep going. But to hear that music in my head, I wasn't ready for it again. Just to have that music start every single episode for the next month is a glorious thing. Good morning, GP.
I was asked about this recently by a consumer of the Eye on College Basketball Podcast, and they said, "Hey, that March Madness music that you guys play in March, that's amazing. Why don't you play that 12 months a year?" You answer that question, because I said,
because we don't eat dessert for dinner. That's why. You need to appreciate it.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. You're gonna have to speak for yourself on this one.
You eat dessert for dinner?
I will. I'll eat breakfast for dinner. I'll have fried eggs.
We're known to do the breakfast for dinner every 8 to 10 nights. You know, things get a little difficult. We had another delayed opening today, setting a Connecticut record for school closings. Early dismissal yesterday, delayed opening today. They're still down there. Wife's taking them in about 20 minutes. So we could be a breakfast for dinner night tonight as well. So I hear that all the way.
Hey, my condolences. Weather that keeps kids at home, that ain't good for nobody. It's good for nobody.
It was mass chaos this morning. I'm ready to go. Pod's been prepped. It's great to be with you.
Isaiah, it's good to see you too. I know what you're doing. This is wild because I feel like you every minute I'm at home, but I'm not. I could be doing better, but I'm not stressed this morning. No kids have bothered me this morning. Nobody's bothered me this morning. I feel good.
You're doing just fine.
Hey, listen, if you listen to Sunday's episode of the Eye on College Basketball Podcast, you know that after something like 10 to 15 years, Norlander finally decided, hey, since you stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning on 5:15 in the morning on Tuesday nights, maybe I should plan those Wednesday shows. I was like, man, that's a neat thing. Good thing.
Yeah.
I like that. And so then I got back here at the hotel. It was late, and I looked at the rundown, and I want everybody to know, Norlander has planned a 4-hour show.
I haven't. We're good to go.
I've got like 65 minutes.
Let's rock.
Let's see how this goes. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, honor Brandon Davies. Smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Eye on College Basketball Podcast,
you opened that pod doc at 3:15 in the morning. You were like, "What have I done?"
I was like, "My God!" And I swear to God, I had this thought. I was like, I gave over planning responsibilities on a night where I barely sleep to a man who writes 7,000 words about anything in this world. He thinks it deserves 7,000 words. What have I done? All right,
we're good to go. This is a good opening topic, and you know it. Let's do it.
Hey, let's get into it. The place to start, I think, is the Big 12. And that is where the projected top 2 picks in the 2026 NBA draft, they both took double-digit losses. Final score, Arizona State 70, number 14, Kansas 60. Final score, Cincinnati. This doesn't even make sense. I mean, I saw their coach cry earlier this year. Final score, Cincinnati 90, BYU 68. In the losses, Darryn Peterson and AJ Dybantsa, the projected top 2 picks in the 2026 NBA draft, they combined to go 10 of 39 from the field. That's 25.6% according to my iPhone. Norlander, it's good to see you on this Wednesday morning. Wild night in the Big 12, wasn't it? I haven't even mentioned the bubble TCU victory.
We're going to get there.
Oh, they beat a top 10 team on the road. That's a quad 1 win. They won at Texas Tech. What'd you make of what we saw in the Big 12 last night?
Yeah, that was a big one. We've got a bubble B block. We'll get to the Horned Frogs there.
Oh, man, wait till you see this B block.
We're good to go, I promise you. I tell you what, Kansas getting rocked at Arizona State the way that it did. We got to take all this in kind of one big chunk here, GP, but Bill Self gets tossed, was rightfully pissed off because of how Arizona State was defending Darryn Peterson on that play in that moment. He gets the hook. Jock Vaughn got another technical in the second half. Credit to Bobby Hurley. This is almost definitely his final home game as the Arizona State coach. He goes out with a memorable win. He's the second best coach in Arizona State history and deserves to have a moment like that. Good on him. Kansas, it's one thing after another, man. Fewest points in a half this season. They had 20 in the first half. Peterson was 3 of 18 from the field, career low. He has shot 30% in the past 3 games, period. So all of the glowing things said about Peterson, while they are still largely true, we are seeing how there is no perfect prospect coming out of college basketball this season. It's just not happening. He has hit, I don't know if it's a wall. I don't know if he's played enough to hit a wall, but Arizona State outscored Kansas 12-6 in second chance points, and that's with Kansas having plenty of second chance opportunities, and the bench couldn't do anything either there. So do what you will with Kansas in your NCAA tournament pool. I'm convinced no matter what I do with the Jayhawks, it will wind up being wrong. As for the Dybantsa stuff, like, he didn't have another good shooting night. BYU doesn't have Richie Saunders anymore. The defense is bad. Dybantsa alone can't save this team. BYU is plummeted defensively. Like, this is a bad defensive team, and now it's threatening to drop all the way into the 8-9 game. And this was a program and a team with a star that we thought was going to have a good chance to be a 3 seed, a 4 seed, be a Final Four contender. Didn't happen there. I ask you, Darryn Peterson and AJ Dybantsa, very likely to be the 1 and 2. Okay. So their combined draft slots would be 3. What will be the bigger number? Their combined draft slots or the number of NCAA tournament wins their teams have this year? Over, under, push.
I'd go push. I think one of them just wins games. Like, one of them just going to go. And Dybantsa went for 32 on 11 shots. So you're going to see something like that.
Really?
You might not. Maybe not, right? But I'm not going to rule out. I guess this is what I said yesterday. And this is before I watched the game at Arizona State. And that was bad. It wasn't just that they lost. It's that they were down 20 quick. And then Bill gets removed from it. And let's stop here for a second. Should he have? You watched it from every angle, I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like, I don't know what he said.
He deserved two. He's gone. I didn't like that in the moment, but I also didn't hear what he said. So
I didn't hear what he said. It didn't. But on mute, it didn't look like he deserved that. So the whole thing was just weird. And then Peterson goes, I think, 3 of 18 from the field. I'm just going to assume at the end of the day that a team with Bill Self on the sideline and Darryn Peterson on the court is going to win a game. Like, and then maybe 2. And then I wouldn't rule anything out because of them. But then you say something like that, and then somebody can go, well, did you watch them last night? They played a team that's probably going to remove its coach like in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And just were nowhere in it at all. So, like, it's bad. And what do you make of this? Kansas is 12. I say this as I say it with no suggestion. I just say it factually.
They'd say it. Yep.
Kansas is 12-7 with Darryn Peterson, 9-2 without him. What do you make of that?
I really don't make something of it right now. I think that's enough of an overall sample size to say they're not necessarily a better team without him. I cannot get there. If he sits out one more half and we see something happen, then we might have something. But I know I've picked up on that as well. Maybe there still is something, the idea that they still don't know how to play well together. But dude, it is March 4th. Like, clock's not ticking. Like, we're there. Lost 4 of his past 6. They've got the home win over Houston in there. That's been like the saving grace, if you will, but not going the right way. Both these teams, BYU and Kansas, they're both going very much in the wrong direction right now.
It was interesting. I was in the studio last night. Brent Stover, Ice Young, Emeka Okafor, who recently had his number retired at UConn before they took a quad 3 loss to Creighton.
Yep.
And that was rough. That's not the way that was supposed to go. Anyway, I thought this was interesting because I can sit here and you can sit here and we can assume a lot of things because of our experiences, because of the coaches we talk to, because of the people we talk to, for a variety of reasons. I always think it's interesting to like listen to somebody who's actually done it. I never try to trick you. I'm not a former NBA player. I didn't bounce it a lot. I'm probably better than you think at soccer. I could probably turn a double play better than you think in baseball. But I was not a basketball star, so I never try to pretend to be. But I work with basketball stars, and one of them was Emeka Okafor last night. And one of the points he made, and I thought this was interesting and worthy of making note of, he said, listen, when you've got somebody who is constantly in and out of the lineup, every time you've got to reset it. You have to reset it. Like, you play one way when he's over here in street clothes. And then he puts a uniform on. He's like, hey, guys, I'm ready to play, or I'm healthy enough to play, whatever. I want to be clear. Emeka wasn't casting anything. He was just like, and then suddenly we have to the rest of us have to change the way we play. We have to change the way we approach it. It's a reset, and they've had to do that too many times where they can't possibly be what they're supposed to be on March 3rd. And we have been, it feels like it's flown by. Like, I really can't believe we're almost to the end.
Yeah.
Like, it just flies by. I know it gets overwhelming, but it flies by. And we've been for a while been like, well, they got time. Well, give it time. Well, he'll be fine. We're here, and you've got to be good. And the last thing I saw from you was not good, and you got blasted at Arizona State. I'm skeptical of what Kansas is going to be able to do in this bracket. I'll never rule anything out, but this is not the way this was supposed to go.
You're not talking like a guy who thinks that they're going to win 2 games. I'm really tempted to say the larger number will be their combined draft slot. Do you have any confidence right now if BYU had to play an NCAA tournament game 2 days from now, it would win that game?
No, and some of it is Richie Saunders, but some of it's just they've turned the wrong way. Like, if Richie Saunders makes this big of a deal to your team,
I know.
then that didn't make any sense. Like, they were 16-1, is that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
4.9 cents. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh, by the way, that was the largest loss to an unranked team for BYU since 2020. So not good. They've also lost 3 straight games to unranked opponents for the first time since 2022, now allowing 85 points a game in their last 13. In the first 17, BYU was allowing 68 and change. Before we do bubble stuff here, just let's also talk Iowa State real quick here because they don't really apply to all this. Cyclones were not they're not right now what they have been. They were not able to get a win on the road against Arizona. That's understandable, but they lost by 16 on Monday night. Also, this is Kansas, BYU, Iowa State. These are teams that are taking on more losses than wins as of late. ISU has lost 3 of 4 and 4 of 7 overall. TJ Otzelberger's team is 24-6, kind of dancing between that 2 and 3 line. We're not surprised by the loss. It comes off the surprising loss at home to Texas Tech. Any quickie thoughts on that from Monday night on the Cyclones? I didn't want to absolve them entirely because Arizona's really good, but I was surprised by the relative no-show by the Fighting Otzelbergers there.
I was too. Arizona's locks up outright Big 12 title, but for Iowa State, like, their resume is so strong that it's hard to move them down too far. Like, you start, this is what I do every day. If you're ever wondering, and I know you're not, but if you're ever wondering, how do you do the top 25 and 1? When a team loses, I just go, okay, now let's look at the team below them. Compare it. Should they be below them? If so, move them. Now let's look at the next one. And when you start doing that with Iowa State, you don't get very far. So I have them 9th in the top 25 and 1 on Wednesday morning, even after the loss on Monday night. I'd still project them as a 3 seed in this moment, as a possible 2 seed by the time we get to Selection Sunday. I was surprised they didn't show up, like you said, on Monday, but their resume is still like top 3 seed at worst strong.
Okay. It's time to get to some bubble teams, I think, unless you got anything else on KU or BYU.
I think I'm done with them. Let's get a word from our partners.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
And it's bubble talk time. Final score: UCLA 72, number 9 Nebraska 52. That's in Pauley Pavilion. Do you have a proper understanding for what Mick Cronin has done this season inside Pauley Pavilion in the Pacific time zone? I know it gets a little complicated
but I don't think the audience does. Why don't you inform the people?
I was going to let you, but if you want me to, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to have to call it up though, so you're going to bear with me for a second.
I've got it.
Okay.
UCLA.
I thought I was setting you up perfectly. Okay. I thought I set you up perfectly. That's exactly the way Stove and Zook would set me up. And you just were like, why don't you? This would be like what just happened. Zook and Stove look at me, and Kiana, whoever, and they look at me and they're like, hey, GP, that was pretty wild what Mick Cronin did last night. What'd you think about that? And then they're like, and then I'm like, well, what did you think about that, Stove?
You should do that. Actually, you should do that.
I'm doing it tonight. I'm doing it tonight.
Like a hot potato.
First question tonight. Zook's going to be like, GP, it's March. How you feeling? I'm going to say, how you feeling? And we're just going to leave it there.
Just send that potato right back to him. Okay, here's the context. Here's at least what I have. We'll see if GP has anything additional. UCLA has 3 wins at home over top 10 teams this season at the time the game was played. So
Yeah.
it's a win over top 10 Nebraska, easily top 10 win. Also won against number 4 Purdue back on January 20th, and then beat number 10 Illinois all of 2 weeks ago. How about this? Greatest coach in UCLA history. It's the first time
Yeah.
the Bruins
Yeah.
have ever won
That's right.
3 games at home against top 10 teams in the same season. Come on now.
18-0 inside Pauley Pavilion.
Correct. They also in regulation. Didn't they lose one at home?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No T?
I accept your qualifiers.
Well, I mean the qualifier matters. They lost in double OT at home to Indiana. So that was the only home loss, but undefeated in regulation nonetheless. Cronin said last night, he said, quote, "This is the best we've played all year, and they brought out the best in us. We went from our worst defensive effort to our best defensive effort," end quote. Trent Perry, 20 points and 7 boards. UCLA hit 10 triples. It was a wire-to-wire win. Nebraska's worst loss of the season, oh, by the way. UCLA has now won 6 straight home games against ranked opponents. And how about this? Donovan Dent, 46-2. 46-2. Name that band. Name that song. What band? 46.
Radiohead.
No.
No, Tool.
There we go.
There you go, Tool. 46-2. I don't know the words, but that's it, right?
You're on your lithium grind. Donovan Dent has 46 assists and 2 turnovers in his last 4 games. He is the only, CBS Sports Research with this nugget, he's the only player in the last 30 seasons with at least 45 dimes and 2 or fewer turnovers in a 4-game span. 46-2 for Donovan Dent. Good job. UCLA is a bubble team. It's in the field right now as a result of this win. Clearly, put them on the 10 line. That's a nice dub there. Late night dub over the Cornhuskers out in Pauley Pavilion.
Pulling 46-2 like on no sleep is pretty impressive, I think.
That was good. I didn't know if you'd have it. I didn't know if you'd get it. Off of
it.
the 96 album Enema, by the way. So yeah.
I love that album. Yeah. Or I loved it when I was young and angry and stuff. I don't know that I would love it now. I'm not mad anymore. But I used to be young and mad, and I love Tool and Nine Inch Nails. I actually tried to listen to Nine Inch Nails like some point within the past 6 months, and I was like, I love Trent Reznor, but I was like, man, did I really used to be this mad?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
I was that mad. That's the thing. I was, but I worked through it. I'm fine now. Final score.
Downward spiral still hits for me, but
I love the Downward Spiral.
Okay. There we go.
One of my favorite concept albums, but it is really angry.
Yes.
It is so mad. Final score: Cincinnati 90, BYU 68. We touched on this from the Cougar side. Let's touch on it from the Cincinnati side.
Yes.
Wes Miller was crying on camera to Cincinnati fans not too long ago, and now he's got the hottest team in the country. Makes sense of that.
Yeah, top 10 team, inarguably. Not even if you go since the winning streak. If you just go back a month and factor in a loss or two, this is still one of the 10 most efficient teams out there. Mustafa Cham has become like a borderline All-American. Just incredible. He's averaging close to 20 points, basically a double-double in the last 6 games. Cincinnati is 6-1 in his past 7. 17-13 now, banging on the door to be in the bubble mix. It has to win at TCU this weekend to have a real shot, but they have found something here. This did not even allow BYU to have a moment of hope from quite literally the jump, GP. So extremely impressive win. Still more work to do, but Cincinnati, and it's at least in the conversation, which is a drastic reverse course from when this team was 11-12, quite literally less than a month ago with that home loss to West Virginia, which prompted what GP was referencing there before. And Wes Miller is coaching for his job. Like, they don't make the tournament, he might not hold on, but he has been able to at least give himself a real chance. My understanding is if Cincinnati does find a way to get into the NCAA tournament, he will keep his job. So credit to the players for rallying. Job is not done though. Got to win on the road against TCU. So we'll see if they can do that this weekend.
Hey, speaking of TCU, 73, number 10, Texas Tech 65. Hey, what other bubble team is going to add a quad 1 win over a top 10 team on the road in the final week of the regular season? Zero.
Is TCU a lock?
I was asked this specifically last night, and I said no, not yet. And I even I channeled you. I said, I actually said you can probably find it. In my head, a lock has to be everything that happens between now and Selection Sunday can be a loss and you're still fine.
Yes.
And I don't know that that's true with TCU right now. Do you?
We talked about this on HQ last night. I am a stickler for the lock terminology. And although
I'm with you, I came with you.
Correct. And although I can't fact check myself in full, I believe it's true. I don't think I've ever been wrong. When I've declared a team a lock, I've never been proven wrong.
Oh, this is going to be good. Josh, hold on to this for a second.
Go ahead and find it. I'm not calling them a lock. I want to, but I can't quite get there. Right now, resume-based metrics, 38 in strength of record, 38 in KPI, 36 in WAB. They're doing good there. They have a loss and a win in every single quadrant. The high-end wins are extremely good. I think TCU is about as close to a lock as you could be without technically getting there. The win over Florida is monumental. This one at Texas Tech, nearly as massive, arguably maybe even bigger because this was a road win, albeit against a shorthanded team. But they also have the win over Florida. There's more than just that. They've got the home win over Iowa State, which is also pretty good. They've got a neutral win over Wisconsin that's carrying them. Those are offsetting home loss to New Orleans. At Utah, not good. Home to Notre Dame, obviously a bad loss. At Colorado, not ideal. So it's all over the map here for the Horned Frogs, but I think they're going to get there. And how about this? They have now 3 wins over top 10 opponents this season. That is a school record. They have 2 wins ever in their history over an AP top 10 opponent on the road. One of them was last night. The other was Kansas just a few years ago. And I do think Jamie Dixon is going to get TCU to the tournament. If you didn't pick up on it, I don't blame you. But if and when they get there, Froggies, they're 4 times in 5 seasons. Before that, they made the tournament once in 23 years. So he has done a wonderful job. And as a program here, TCU has been able to win 10 games in the league, in league play. For the first time since 97-98, it was a member of the WAC the last time TCU got this many wins, double digits in conference play. As close to a lock without being a lock, but very, very close.
Jamie Dixon, what he did at Pitt hasn't been replicated since he left, and what he's doing at TCU has never been done. So,
yes, it is fair that we don't need to dive into this right now.
Right?
You can make the case that because of his personality, not super outspoken, he doesn't have a lot of quotes that you can call off the top of your head or that are shared, and because he hasn't made a Final Four, all of that. But Jamie Dixon probably is one of the 5 most underappreciated coaches in college basketball over the past 4 decades when you look at what he has done at these 2 places. So that's just my take.
I agree. Final score, Miami University 74, Toledo 72. The Redhawks are 30-0. Keep them out of the tournament, and we're going to riot. We'll riot. We'll fight. We'll fist fight.
Not quite a lock yet. One more win, and it's a lock. One more win and it's a lock. And I mean that. If they run the table in the regular season, lock. The committee will not keep out a team that did not lose a game in the regular season from the tournament. They could lose by 70 in the first game of the MAC tournament, which won't happen. They will be in. But they got to do one more. It's at Ohio on this upcoming weekend. This game, oh my gosh, it was lemon booty. Lemon booty. Miami, in the past 12 games, 6 of them, half of their games, have been decided by a bucket or have gone on to be decided in overtime. It is something watching this team. It is now 7-0. So I credit to ESPN. I saw the stat. Miami is 7-0 this season, GP, in games decided by 1 possession. It's only the 3rd team since the early 1960s to have this many wins without a loss in games decided by a bucket. Georgia Tech was 7-0 in 62-63 in 1 possession games.
I remember that.
DePaul in 83-84. DePaul, love it. Did it 7-0. And now Miami this season, 7-0 when the game is decided by 1 possession. It's now 30-0, joining Gonzaga 2021, Kentucky 14-15, Wichita State 13-14, Vegas 90-91, and Indiana 78-79.
That's a hell of a list.
Only teams since seeding began. Those are the only teams. There were 6 of them since seeding began in 79 to start a season 30-0. I will note, it's a minor discrepancy for the committee's purposes. This is a 27-0 team. It is not a 30-0 team. It has 3 non-Division I games. Those games and their results and the margins, they aren't considered. I think for practical purposes, whatever record they have, whatever wins they have, will probably be acknowledged. But from an official capacity, It's a 27-0 team. I pointed that out. People thought I was anti-Miami. Dude, you exposing yourself as a casual. I'm very much not anti-Miami. I'm just letting you know, like 30-0 is a big, nice round number, but technically it's 27-0 versus D1 opponents, and that's the minor discrepancy that, it matters all the same. If one of those D2, D3 games was a game that was, against Virginia Tech instead, we might have a different result, and this wouldn't be an undefeated team. And so I think that context is also important.
It's fine. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, something you're going to need to learn about fans is they get mad anytime you say something they don't want to hear, even if it's factual. Even if it's factual, it doesn't matter. I could be like, hey, fans, this is a lamp right here. Look at this. That's a lamp. You see that?
Well,
and if they hated lamps and they didn't want to hear that about lamps, they'd be mad about that. But it's true. That's a lamp. I just showed you a lamp. Yeah. Fans don't like facts sometimes when it flies in the face of what they enjoy. Let me ask you a question.
Throw it at me.
You would leave them out with 2 losses?
I don't think so.
Okay, me neither. And I don't even want to have that conversation.
Again, yeah, I'm resisting the conversation until it actually becomes something in our reality. So there's been so much energy. Like, it's gone the way that I knew it would, and I hate it. There's been so much energy about what might be. Can we just let what happened is first? Can we just get there?
No.
All of this discussion and dialogue, it's predictable and it's unfortunate. This team
we are in the discussion and dialogue business. What do you think we're doing right now?
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's all based on hypotheticals at this point. We're not even there, so we can keep chatting. I'm good on it. But there's been a lot of just like, what if and yada yada. Team hasn't lost a game yet. Hasn't lost. When Miami loses, come talk to me. Still hasn't happened.
Feels like you were yelling at Bruce Pearl right then.
No, it's not. It's far from even Bruce Pearl. It's just the general discourse around the Red Hawks. But
hey, next time just text it to BP. I got things to do. I ain't got time for
I can acknowledge 2 things at once. A lot of it is annoying, but it is a very, very good thing that there is an undefeated team in the first week of March, and that is propelling even more content and discussion around college basketball, even if some of it is predictably lacking the proper amount of context around it. That's all.
Texas A&M 96, Kentucky 85. Buckyball. That was nice. Hey, they blew them out. Did you see that run? Do you have it in front of you? What the run was?
I do. It was 29-3. I was on the phone when it happened, so I had the stuff up, but I was talking and there was a lot going on. And then the next thing I know, they're just running them out of the gym. So I actually didn't absorb the run as it was happening in real time. I just kind of looked and I was like, double take situation. But yeah, 1.27 points per possession for A&M in this one. One more win to lock status for Texas A&M. Good bubble win, 13 made threes and 57 bench points. I love the quote from Bucky afterward. Did you see it?
I did not.
I'm not coaching basketball afraid of my own shadow. Basketball is a war. We pick people up at 94 feet because the court is 94 feet, not 40 feet. We play to live. We don't play not to die, end quote.
Oh, Jesus.
One of the best quotes of the season. I love the court is 94 feet. It's not 40 feet. He's damn right about that. And if people got an issue, they got a problem with themselves. A&M 8-2 in quad 1 and quad 2, 37 in the strength of record, 41 in WAB right now, top 43 in predictives, probably on the 10 line, not quite a lock. One more win will do it.
You're going to be one of those pronunciation guys, aren't you?
Ken Pom has swayed me.
He's right. It's just weird. It's a weird thing to hear, but he's right.
Did you see his post from like a week ago?
Somebody sent it somewhere and I saw it.
He's right. He's right about it. Now, what he was saying was, is more, this is these are words as opposed to why am I blanking? My brain's not working right now. Acronyms, but he's right. If you hail something in New York City, you don't hail a cob, you hail a cab.
I actually hailed a cob one time. I rode David Cobb to work.
You did? Oh, did you?
I rode David Cobb to the studio one day, CBS Broadcast Center.
Really? How'd that go for you?
It was fine. He's good. He just let me get on his shoulders. He carried me.
To quote Pomeroy, if you have a great core strength, you do not have rock hard obs. If you scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl in 2012, you did not celebrate by dobbing. Chris Webber did not play for the Fob 5. If you are a chatty person, you do not have the gift of gob. So he's saying that's why it should be WAB.
Yeah.
Those are also words instead of short for wins above bubble.
You want to argue with Kim Pong?
I like saying WAB. I like saying WAB more than WAB. I like the way that WAB comes out of my mouth more than WAB. So that's just me.
I'm gonna leave that right there. I don't think that's anything. Right. I don't think that's anything I can say. I don't think it's. Hey, I remember when 10-loss Tubby was a thing for UK fans. They would text me. They'd be like, "Why do you think we're being too hard on 10-loss Tubby?" That's what they would say to me, and I was like, "I don't know. You had like a redneck shooting a rifle at a picture of Tubby Smith. It seemed a little over the line," and they would be like, "He lost it." They were like, and then Tubby was like, "You know what? I'm gonna leave Kentucky to go to Minnesota." Because they probably won't shoot a gun at a picture of me in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, but they did nickname him 10-loss Tubby. I remember that being a thing. Okay. And so now we've got 11-loss Pope for a second straight season. 24-12 last season, 19-11 this season. We okay? How we doing?
Yeah, Mitch Barnhart's going to retire, and then Mark Pope had a very sweet post saying he can't wait to make some more memories, and then less than 12 hours later, they got waxed at A&M. So
that is a memory. It's fair. In fairness, that is a memory for Kentucky fans. They might pull out their guns.
It's a memory. It's
a memory.
Good win for A&M. Kentucky is Kentucky and Kansas. Every game, what are we getting? So, I don't know. More bubble stuff. These are all the bubble winners, by the way.
Hey, we got it. VCU 70, George Mason 65. I watched this one. Former MC ATN Media Day pre-pandemic. George Mason has really fallen off. VCU?
They're in there.
They're in there. They're right there.
One loss for the Rams since January 10 GP. 5-7 in quad 1 and quad 2, but 23-7 overall. As of this morning, 42nd in resume average. That's healthy. 50 in predictives. Needs to be a little bit better. Not in, but in the conversation for sure. Needs to win at Dayton this weekend, and then I think make the A10 semis at minimum to build a debatable case. But if you were unaware, VCU, very much in the fight to get the A10 to be a multi-bid league this season. George Mason's also been a solid team, but it's really let a few opportunities slip through its hands over the past month there. But a good win for the Rams and the A10, decent chance it gets its 2. St. Louis, obviously the best team in the league and comfortably in the field right now. We'll see if the Rams or someone else that can be a bid thief in the conference tournament can turn that into a 2-bid conference.
All right. Virginia Tech 72, Boston College 63. What are we doing?
They're just still in the, so I included this because they're still in the picture. Like you might not, this is, again, the bubble is ass. But the Hokies, although they're still on the outside looking in, feeling those lighters, y'all. 8-10 in quad 1 and quad 2 with a quad 3 loss, but 19-11 overall, outside the top 50 in 5 of the 7 team sheet metrics. Still in. If they beat Virginia this weekend, that would be a sweep of the Wahoos. Hokies wouldn't be that far out. So this is just a reminder of how bad the bubble is. Virginia Tech is still in the picture. That's all.
Combined ACC record between these two teams, 11-23.
Yep, not good.
Leave them both out. Leave them both out. And
exactly.
You better add DJ Burns before you want me to care about your power conference teams with a combined record of 11-23.
I hear you.
You better bring in DJ Burns before I start paying attention.
Only other bubble winner, Auburn beat LSU at 16-14 next.
I was actually rooting hard for Auburn, if only because that would have been awful for Stephen. And I don't wish bad things for. I don't like watching people struggle. And his program has become like the face of mediocre. I was going to do a couple of different directions. His program has become the face of like a mediocre power conference basketball program in a bloated league. Mediocre. And to lose to LSU last night would have been really bad. Like really, it would have come down hard on him.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad he got that. It doesn't make me change my opinion about his basketball team in any way whatsoever. But he didn't have to spend Wednesday dealing with what he would have had to deal with if he'd have lost that game last night.
Agreed. Bubble losers, not that many on Tuesday night. We'll go to Missouri. Lost at home to Oklahoma. Porter Moser, good win. I think Porter Moser, I included Oklahoma in my kind of hot seat overview situation earlier this week on the site. I think Porter will hold on to his job. Or if not, like, I don't know, if Schertz leaves, say St. Louis, maybe he will try and get another one. I don't know, but this was an important win for the Sooners just to continue to pile some wins. They've had some, they're not in the tournament picture. Missouri losing GP, the Tigers do not have a trustworthy defense whatsoever. That's unfortunate. Right now, they're in the field 20-10. They got waxed in this game, 10-10 in the top 2 quadrants. That net ranking is like a mole on the nose, 59. Now, the net ranking is not going to win out in the committee room ultimately, but safely in the field with a 59 net is slightly uncomfortable. 39th in resume average. Could be flirting with going to Dayton because it's got Arkansas at home this weekend. You lose the Arkansas game, and then if you lose your first SEC tournament game, I think Missouri's probably still in the field regardless. But I still think it's a possibility that it blows what could have been a 9 seed fate into something that's much worse. So I was surprised that the loss came by as many points as it did, and Mizzou just wasn't able to keep it competitive.
But keep in mind, like I said on a previous show, they were on the right side of the bubble with 4 regular season games to go, and they won the next 2. Then they dropped last night, but I think they're still fine. I think they're going to be fine, but I wouldn't lose out if I were them. Oklahoma State 111, UCF 104 in overtime in Orlando. That's a quadrant 3 loss for the Knights. If I know one thing about the last week of the regular season, it's that you don't want to be a coach on the hot seat with a bubble team that takes a quadrant 3 loss. That was not good. That was not good last night.
Say that one more time.
You don't want to be a coach on the hot seat last week of the regular season with a bubble team that takes a quadrant 3 loss.
I don't know if Dawkins is on the hot seat, though. I think he's won enough to stave that off, GP. So I don't know if it applies here, but this was UCF. What are you doing?
Why did you do this? Why did you do this?
You're 1 win away from being a lock. Home against Baylor, home against Oklahoma State. Those are non-NCAA tournament teams, and you lose both of them. Now 20-9, 9 seed-ish, I guess, at West Virginia. Just don't mess around like Missouri and UCF. Like you're in that 8-9 situation, and now you just decide to take these losses. You're flirting with a little bit of fire. Don't let Virginia Tech get hot. It's on the outside looking in. Cincinnati's trying to bust through the door. Don't be squandering these opportunities. So there were only 3 bubble losers, I think, on Tuesday. Missouri was on, UCF, barely a bubble team, but it's not a lock, so I guess I got to qualify it. And then San Diego State is just about out of runway here. Had road games at New Mexico and Boise State, both quad 1 opportunities. Lost both, fell to 19-9. Going to need to beat UNLV next and then probably make the Mountain West title game at minimum. Aztecs 7-9 combined in quad 1 and quad 2 have a quad 3 loss. 66 in strength of record, 56 in WAB. Definitely not in right now, and it might be too tough to turn that ship around. Big run has to happen in the Mountain West tournament. So I think those are your 3 bubble losers from Tuesday. All
right, let's get to the Wednesday whip around. This is what happens when you let somebody who thinks everything needs 7,000 words plan a show.
Look at that. Are you kidding me right now? We're up to the next block, and we're 38 minutes in. We're better than your pace, buddy. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go.
Hey, I'll concede the point. You're doing all right. All right? You're doing all right. You're keeping it moving.
That's
You're
right.
keeping it moving. I'm proud of you. Hey, all right. Should we get a break? Word for partner, all that stuff?
Yeah, partners. Let's go.
Yeah, partners.
This is why we do this every March.
Major slam!
It is a basketball party.
It's March! Expect the unexpected!
Norlander, guide us through what else we need to know from Tuesday night. And don't forget, we are still contractually obligated.
We're good
to do a Naismith watch.
These are the Wednesday whip-around leftovers. Georgia beats Bama, locks up a bid in the process. Mike White's going to get Georgia to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, and that has not happened for this program since 01-02 under Jim Herrick, who was erroneously killed on social media earlier this week. Jim Herrick is alive and well. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I was like,
people killed this man. He is alive.
I got sad for a minute. Because like one of my little guys ain't been doing so good in school, and I was like, man, well, maybe one day Jim Herrick can run a basketball program again. I'll send him to that university and we'll make straight A's. No problem. Remember the academic fraud thing they got?
I do. Yes, I do remember.
I could tell you a funny story about Robert Dozier someday. It'll be hilarious, but we ain't got time today.
Fair enough. Georgia gets the win, wins big, wins impressively, 98-88 over Alabama. Crimson Tide's winning streak has snapped at 8. Georgia has its most wins in a season, 21 in 12 or 11 years. Good on them. Cannon Catchings.
Well, that's sad. That's the
First Georgia
saddest thing I've
player
ever
with
heard.
30 and 5 versus a ranked opponent since Ant Edwards did it in 2019 under Tom Crean. Georgia hit 13 triples in this game, and a good win for the Dogs. Bama, had been playing really well. Got caught on the road against an NCAA tournament team, completely acceptable. Any quickie thoughts on the game?
Nope.
Okay, Carolina and St. John's both had home games that they flirted with losses to inferior teams. Both got the win. Carolina gets it done after it came down to the final possessions, final seconds. Luka Bogovac was awesome in this one, had 6 triples, his best game in a Carolina uniform for sure. 67-63 final. Now, Clemson had opportunities. Dylan Hunter hit a big shot late, and then he couldn't get the bucket, draw contact in order to get this game to potentially to overtime. So Clemson loses. Carolina gets the win. Carolina did not lose at home this season, 18-0. First undefeated season at home since 16-17. And with 18 home victories, that's the most wins in a single season at home in the history of Carolina's program. They won 17 back in 2011, 2012. Good on the Tar Heels. Johnny's, just to combine these two, take them away if you want. Johnny's got a scare from Georgetown. Down 10. It looked like the senior night there was going to get spoiled. Didn't wind up happening. Were able to rally late. Georgetown had a shot. Caleb Williams, not that one. 3 at the buzzer, didn't fall. Johnny's win. They get the W, which means that the Big East race will go to the final game. St. John's plays at Seton Hall this weekend. UConn plays at Marquette.
Yeah, probably going to be co-Big East champs. At least that's the way the point spread suggests this should go. As for the North Carolina Clemson thing, that's one of those that you get the shot sheet. It's right there in the notes, and it's like 18-0 at home this season, most wins at home in the history of North Carolina basketball. And you're like, really? Because North Carolina obviously had like elite national championship winning teams, and we've never thought of this team as that, and yet it's done things that no other Carolina team has done. Now, some of this is just the nature of the schedule. We play more games than we ever played, but still, like 18-0 at home is pretty impressive, particularly when you had to do some of that without your best player. Update us on Caleb Wilson. When are we going to see him play again?
That's the question. Will he return this weekend for the big game against Duke? No indication that that's going to happen, but he's been on the record saying, you will see me play in a Tar Heels uniform again. So maybe they hold off a little bit while longer and make it the ACC tournament. Just get him healthy and get him back on the floor as soon as possible. It'd be great if he did return. A little more juice to a rivalry game that needs no more, honestly. Duke's going to try and avenge its loss. Carolina and Duke, by the way, only high major teams this season that have not lost at home. Carolina can be the only one if it can somehow pull off an upset in enemy territory this weekend. It has won under more unexpected circumstances before. We know that to be the case. Let's talk about some dominant teams here. Florida, Duke, and Zona all played in the past 2 nights. All won easily. Florida, just as expected, like it's Mississippi State. So like, what do you want from me? We knew that Florida was going to win big, and win big it did. 108-74. Here's the data behind it. Standalone regular season champs. Florida has gotten 100 points in back-to-back conference games for only the second time in program history. The other one came back in 1975. Florida is the first team to score 105 or more points and win by 30 plus in back-to-back SEC games since Kentucky in 1971. And Florida is the second team in the SEC in the last 65 years to win 10 straight conference games in a single season, with each of those wins coming by 9 or more points. I believe I referenced that on the previous show. 95-96 Kentucky was the other one. Duke raised State GP on Monday night, 93-64. Stunningly, Duke has now won back-to-back ACC regular season championships for the first time since they won 5 in a row from 96-01. Hit the 15-second back button. Hear me say that again. That is accurate. It is stunning, but it is true. Duke is 28-2. Best start for them through 30 games since they were 29-1 in 98-99. And that epic team, yet again, Duke held a team well below its scoring average in a game. Wolfpack were averaging 84 per night. had 64 at home against Duke. Boozer, 26 points, 9 boards. Dame Sarr was awesome, 16 points, 3 threes, had 8 boards. And Caleb Foster has now had back-to-back games with at least 6 assists for the first time in his career. And then Zona GP, outright regular season title for the third time in 5 years under Tommy Lloyd. He has now passed Brad Stevens for the most wins in the first 5 years of a head coaching career. John Shire's done the same thing for 4 wins. So Shire could conceivably beat Tommy Lloyd's mark year from now after they just both beat Brad Stevens for the 4 and 5 year mark. Arizona now has 10 ranked wins this season, matching Duke. Tommy Lloyd has 31 ranked wins in his first 5 seasons as a head coach. That ties Tom Izzo for the most ever. And this is just team after team after team. They're just exerting their dominance. I know there's not any of these grand takeaways, but you saw what Arizona and Duke did on Monday, and then you saw what Florida did as expected on Tuesday. And it does feel like there is a separation that is formed at the top of the sport with about 5 of these teams, 4 or 5 of these teams, and someone's going to beat them somewhere somehow in the tournament. I'm not convinced it's going to happen before the Final Four. That's all.
So, a few thoughts on all this. You're exactly right. Like, think of all the men, all the people who have coached men's Division I college basketball. And we are watching right now Tommy Lloyd win more games in his first 5 years than anybody's ever done. Yep. And next year that record will be broken. He will own that record for less than a year, even though he's done it better than all the people who've ever done it. Some of this is, again, byproduct of just more games than we used to play. But some of it is we lost Kay, we lost Roy, we lost Jim Boeheim, all-time greats, and this is the next batch. Like, this is like John Shire, Tommy Lloyd, Todd Golden. This is the next batch of Hall of Fame level coaches. And with John, I this is interesting to me because when you have these succession plans, you never know how they'll go. You could remove the names from head coach at this school and just say, these are the records. These are the recruiting rankings. And you would not be able to tell that Mike Krzyzewski is no longer the coach at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would just look the same. You'd be like, I guess. Yeah, it just looks the same. Nothing has really changed. And maybe that's not right because like John runs his program the way he wants to run his program, schedules in the way he wants to schedule. I just mean in terms of the results. If you just surface level look at the results, recruiting rankings, all the stuff you can look at, nothing's changed. Duke is still Duke. Leave it to Beaver, all that stuff. With Arizona, like I'm through talking about their flaws and nitpicking them, and I don't know if you can win like that. You can beat anybody doing what you're doing. I don't know how exactly, but like they can win the whole thing, shooting 0 3-pointers. They're excellent. And then with Florida, let me ask you this, and I ask it from an honest place.
Yep.
I'm happy to be corrected. I said this last night on TV. It got clipped. It got passed around. There was pushback. Okay. I was asked who's going to be the 4th number 1 seed. All right, so it's Michigan, Arizona, Duke. Those 3 are locked up.
You said Florida.
Here's what I said. I said if Florida wins out, it will be Florida, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does. We can just keep it there because that's the point.
Mm.
Here's my argument. If Florida wins out, Florida will be the outright champ of the top-rated league in the net and the conference tournament champ of the top-rated league in the net.
Mm-hmm.
And they will have something like 15 quadrant 1 wins because they will start in the quarterfinals, and you can't really add anything barring a surprise in the SEC other than quadrant 1 wins at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have like 50. If they win out, it's all based on if they win out. They'll have like 15 quadrant wins and be the outright SEC champs, top-rated league in the country, and the SEC tournament champs. And UConn, even if it wins out, is going to have like 9 or 10 quadrant 1 wins. Yes, a win over Florida at MSG back in early December. I got it. I understand. There's nothing you're going to say or type into the chat that I go, oh, I didn't think about that. I thought about it all. I thought about it all. Okay. But we're talking about a Florida team, outright champ, tournament champ, 15 quadrant 1 wins from the best league in the country, according to the algorithm the NCAA tournament cares about. How is that not a 1 seed?
Because it has 3 more losses and lost the head-to-head on a neutral floor against UConn.
And it will have like 6 5 or 6 or 7 more quad one wins.
UConn will still have more combined quad 1 and quad 2 wins than Florida in that situation. If
they will be higher than most computers at that point. They just would.
Yeah, but UConn will be ahead in the resume stuff. If UConn wins out and Florida wins out, UConn will be the final 1 seed.
I'm not sure.
We just saw this where Houston had almost every single advantage on Iowa State at the top 16 in-season reveal. Iowa State got the benefit of the one and only home game against Houston, and Iowa State was given the final 1 seed as a result of head-to-head. I would never say never. If UConn and Florida win out for the rest of the season, there is a 3-loss difference between those two teams. Florida will be ahead of UConn in the predictives. UConn will be the final 1 seed because it will also be, in that situation, a double champ of a power league, and that will be taken into account. And with the head-to-head, I cannot envision the committee giving Florida the final 1 in that situation. If UConn loses one more time, Florida wins out, then it's a different conversation. But if both of these teams win out, UConn will also have more combined quad 1 and quad 2 wins than Florida. I think they will have enough in their column to get them the final 1.
Totally fine. I don't even feel strongly enough about it to fight about it. I just think you are saying you would be asking the committee to not give a 1 seed to a double champ in a power conference that has a win over Florida.
We have years where there are 5 1 seeds. Sometimes it happens, and we might have a situation this year.
But if you give the 1 seed to them, what you would be doing is asking the committee to not give a 1 seed to the outright champ of the best conference in America, according to the algorithm they reference.
Yeah,
and the conference
tournament to them, you're also asking the committee to outright ignore a head-to-head result with a 3-loss difference on a neutral floor. So what do you want?
Semi-neutral, but I'm not going to fight.
I will give you semi-neutral. It is Store South, all of that. I was at the game. Florida fans were certainly not quiet in that gym on that night. So
hey, let's let them settle it. We don't have
my
to settle.
prediction. If they both win out, UConn will be the final 1. Then there's the question of, does UConn even want the final 1? It's going to go to the South in that situation. Now we've got this deal where one of those teams will be the best 2, probably, which means you can't. If it's UConn, that's a 2. It can't go to the East because Duke is the best 1. If it's the number 1 overall, then best 1 can't be in the best region, same region as the best 2. That means UConn probably goes to the Midwest, to Chicago for the second weekend. That would be Michigan. A lot of stuff we'll dive more into this as we get closer to Selection Sunday. It's a good conversation nonetheless. I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't hear you say it, but I understand where you're coming from. The head-to-head, I think, is going to win out in that room. I would be very surprised if that's not the case.
Totally fine. I want to be clear. This is not one of those where I'm like, and there's no way. Like, it's totally subjective. I got it. I find it hard to comprehend.
Losses, man. 6 versus 3. I bang this table every single year.
You do. This is one of your sticking points. I got it.
It is 6 versus 3 losses. I'm sorry. That's a big enough gap for me that it has to account for something.
It's fine. You know what? Probably another one of those conversations we ain't even going to really have to ever have. Something. This is what I additionally said on TV last night. And by the time we get to Selection Sunday, this will probably just work itself out. We'll know. We won't have to fight about it. We'll know. Something will happen, and we'll be like, that's the 1, that's a 2. So let's just let's move on. Hey, let's take a break. Come back. Naismith watch. Look ahead. Get out of here. Josh, hit your button.
When you need your sports news all the time,
We've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
It's time for our weekly Naismith Watch segment. Are your go-to game day foods feeling uninspired? Next time, skip the usual suspects and order Jersey Mike's. At Jersey Mike's, they make every sub to order with premium fresh sliced meat, and cheesesteaks are cooked on a flat-top grill. Download their app to delivery, curbside, or in-store pickup. Jersey Mike's, proud sponsor, Naismith Award, and a proud maker of a sub above. Norlander, still a long way to go, but right now,
not that much.
Yeah, not that much, really.
Honestly, if it's now we've come to the end of the road, and I can let go because we have our winner. But let's do this just for kicks and giggles.
I think that was Boys to Men.
That's right.
Has there ever been a college basketball? Has there ever been a college basketball podcast that is both referenced Tool and Boys to Men in the same show?
No one doing it like us. You're not getting this anywhere else.
You're not getting this anywhere else.
You ain't moving like us.
I love Maynard Keenan. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim.
That's enough. No more.
Hey, before you tell me Cameron Boozer is your leader for the Naismith Award, all right? Would you still have AJ Dybantsa on your list? Because as I've told you, you got to be on a top 10 KenPom team unless you're Kevin Durant or Doug McDermott to win the Naismith Award. And he's not on a top 10 KenPom team. His team they don't win no more.
I know. It's bad.
You didn't know I knew Maynard Keenan like that.
No. He's quoting the title track. Find it on your own.
It's a great title track.
Lyrics are something else in that one. All right, keep it moving. This is by the week. It's over. It's over. Come on. Like, Dybantsa's team can't win game. Here's my order. Naismith, top 5.
Dybantsa's team cannot have premarital sex or win basketball games anymore. That's a problem. I'd like to at least do one or the other. You know? I'd like to do one or the other.
If you're telling me I can't win basketball games and I can't have premarital relations,
just end it. I don't even know why I'm in this world no more. I don't even know why I'm in the world no more. What is the point of life if you can't win a game or have premarital sex? What are we even doing?
I've got Cam Boozer at number 1. I still have Dybantsa at 2. I've got Darius Acuff Jr. 3rd. Yaxel Lendenborg 4th. Nation's leading assist man, Jeremy Fears Jr. 5th. That's my 1 through 5 right now.
I'm pretty close. I got Cameron Boozer 1, Yaxel Lendenborg 2, Keaton Wagler 3, Jeremy Fears at 4, and I went Joshua Jefferson, Iowa State 5.
He's still playing well. He actually didn't play well recently, but
yeah,
I don't. You have Wagler, huh?
Why
I had him
not?
as 6 on the list. I had him 6. I didn't know what to do. Wagler, Jefferson, it got close.
All right, let's look ahead to the next couple of nights. What we got going on tonight?
Well, how about that? Look at that. We're gonna do look ahead. We got it. We got a good 10 minutes still, by the way. How about that? We're cruising.
Norlander. I want to apologize. When I looked at that rundown at 3:45 in the morning, I was like, what is he doing? What is he doing?
I was wrong.
Well, how does he think we're going to talk about all of this stuff? In fairness, I had to tap out on some topics. You were like, what you got to say, GP? I was like, nothing. Just keep it going. Keep going. All right. So I helped you get where we're at, but you got here too on your own. You did a good job. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
I mean, I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna go in studio. I'm gonna talk to Amy and Harrison and Seth and Jim. I'll be like, should he have put that Virginia Tech game in there? I'm gonna ask him that. I'm gonna figure that out.
Bubble winner, technically, it applied. By the way, Illinois fans, your team also destroyed an inferior opponent, Oregon. I will mention that as well. Trying to keep yourself in the conversation.
Stojakovic got him good.
Stojakovic got him. By the way, Dana Altman told me over the weekend he will not be retiring. So Altman back on the sidelines in Eugene next year. Look ahead situation. Bubble adjacent games on Wednesday. Here's your order. Minnesota at Indiana, 6:30 Eastern on Big Ten Network. Indiana has to win the game. Texas at Arkansas, 7 Eastern, ESPN2. Big one for the Longhorns. Dare I say lock with a road win there. Miami plays at SMU, 7 Eastern, ACC Network. SMU, don't lose this game. It's on your home floor. Don't be flirting with disaster. Ohio State at Penn State. Ohio State needs to win this game on the road. That is 7:30 Eastern on Peacock. We've got a bubble game on our air. Colorado State at New Mexico, 10 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. Lobos. Don't blow this one. You're in a good spot. It's on your home floor. Take care of business. Not a bubble game, but just a note on CBS Sports Network before that CSU UNM game, we've got SLU can win the A-10 regular season title on CBS Sports Network, 8 Eastern at home against Loyola Chicago. Fill in anything else you want there on Wednesday. The only thing Thursday of note is Michigan at Iowa, 8 Eastern on Peacock.
I sort of made this note. Last night we had a triple header and two of the games had legitimate bubble teams. And I know that traditionally you think of the big games are and it's number 11 against number 13. But right now in this week, the big games are the games that include teams Indiana and New Mexico and where you're really the San Diego, we had San Diego State last night, or those games are massive because you're fighting for your life. Florida played last night, and that was awesome. They're not fighting for their life. Some of these teams, and we'll have them on our air tonight, are fighting for their lives, and this is a fun time of the year.
It unquestionably is, and I know the Mountain West is going to shift to the Pac-12 and all of this, but there is something. There's just something about Mountain West games on CBS and CBS Sports Network. Just it has been this way for so long. Just great environments, the way it sounds, the way we presented stuff. I look forward to all these Mountain West games, and I'm interested to kind of see how, the league is undeniably getting a downgrade moving forward. Can the Pac-12 kind of fill that void? We wait and see on all that. The poll from earlier on YouTube before we get out of here, GP.
Hey, YouTube.
What will be the larger number? The combined draft slots for Dybantsa and Peterson, or the combined NCAA tournament wins for their respective teams in this year's big dance? Draft pick number 68%. And that's when you're thinking if they're going to be going 1 and 2. So 3 versus 3 total. If we allowed the push, I think push would have won, but 68-32 there. My March 4th prediction is a combined 3 wins from both of those teams. I will push officially, and they will wind up being equal.
So do you think that's BYU winning 1 or 0? How do you do that?
I think that is, I could very well come to regret this. I think that is Kansas winning 2 and BYU winning 1. I think that is what we have there. Yes.
I could see Kansas doing absolutely anything in the tournament.
I could as well.
I mean, they have beaten the number 1 team and got blown out by Arizona State.
It's crazy. It really is. I mean, it's just, I can't figure them out. It is Forrest Gump, box of chocolates, never know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get with Kansas on a game by game basis. And outside, by the way, I don't think we've mentioned this. I don't think outside the top 50 in adjusted offensive efficiency with quite likely the number 1 pick in the draft, who is, by most accounts, an incredible offensive player. That has not been the case as of late. It's just wild. So there you go. There you have it. Hey, guess what? Time to spare.
Look at this. I'm gonna take like a 5-minute nap.
That's a show.
I'm gonna dive in this bed back here. I'm gonna take a 5-minute nap, get up and do a whole nother show. You got me out of here in good time.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Shouts to Devin Downey, Chester, South Carolina, Terry Teagle. He's a legend. Huck Larnell. Thank you guys once again for watching and listening to the Eye on College Basketball Podcast. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, Apple, Spotify. More of us than there are of them. That should be reflected in the comments.
Yes, it should. Tell your friends, by the way.
Tell your friends about premarital sex. Tell your friends about
the show. If you got
I thought you were saying something else.
Guy pals, gal pals, they love the college hoops. Hey, you got to listen to this show. These guys are all over it, all the relevant stuff. They invoke premarital sex, and one of them shouts Tool lyrics every so often in the middle of a show.
Learn to swim, 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 learn to swim. I love that album. Maynard Keenan, I think, makes wine now. Do you know about that?
He does. Yeah, him and Dave Matthews, big wine guys. Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Good for them. And this is wild because when you're young, and I've been like, I'm only ruining my own life right now by talking. All right. The rest of you can just like hit close. This is where you start to feel old and also realize like these are real people. Because when you're young and you see Maynard Keenan doing that, you're like, I don't even know. He doesn't even seem like a real person. And then I saw a video. See if you can find this somewhere. You might have seen it on your own. It just stumbled into me. I don't even know how I found it. But it's his daughter, and she's at a Tool show, and she's taking like a selfie video, and she's like something to something when your dad does something. And it's like her dad's Maynard Keenan. I just think that's. I don't know.
I don't have enema, but I do have lateralis, so I'll have to make that happen for you for the old vinyl behind me. So,
what's the album that's got the live recordings on it? Do you know that one?
Album that has the live recordings.
It's before Enema, and it's got
Undertow. Maybe
I think that's it. Maybe, but those live recordings are great. Anyway.
Tool on a Wednesday. How about that?
Hey, nobody else is doing this. There's other podcasts out there, but nobody else is doing it like this. We're going to talk to you again on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Till then, take care.